So that's long-winded process.
Yeah, so typically I only sleep a few hours a night, about 3 hours a night, 4 hours if I'm exhausted. So the first thing I do after a show is as soon as I get into my hotel room, I take the clothes that I've just worn and I wash them right away.
Wow.
I mean,
and that's like
suits
ritualistic.
and the whole bit. Suits and everything.
How can you wash them? I mean, what happens if you're wearing a sort of mohair and cashmere jacket, or don't you?
See, now you're talking my language. People don't understand. So what do you think people did before there was dry cleaning?
They sponged them down.
Right.
Yeah.
I do it better than that. I wash them. So when I was a child, we used to have a product called Woolite, which they still have, but I realized that I don't need Woolite. You just need cold water and a very mild detergent. You can wash anything. I have silk suits that Versace made for me that look brand new. People cannot believe that those suits are that old.
Wow.
They look brand spanking new.
And
it's silk.
And then how do you dry them? With a kind of, do you get the sort of the little hairdryer in the bathroom and dry it with a hairdryer?
That's funny. You busted me. I only do that when I need something quickly. But I just let everything just drip dry.
That must take quite a long time, doesn't it? Well, mind you, you have got your 5 suitcases back up.
Yeah, it doesn't take as long for my hair.
Yeah. Yeah, talking about which, I mean, how do you have the most amazing dreadlocks. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
I've always wondered how you keep them clean. Or don't you?
No, you shampoo and you wait for hours and hours and hours, and you have to make sure that you wear something that the water stain, and also because as I've gotten a little older, I color my hair a bit, not as much as I used to because I've just said to hell with it, but because you can see I'm a little gray around the temples here.
It's distinguished.
Well,
yeah.
You call it that, but I'm in the rock and roll business.
Okay, you just feel like an old twat graying around the temples. And how big is your wardrobe at home?
It's massive.
Okay, and you know where every single piece is, do you?
More or less.
Okay, and do you colour coordinate in your wardrobe?
Yes, I do.
He says with a massive grin with that
it's just because it makes it easy, right?
Yeah. I love the story in your book about at the age of 13 you were wearing little sharkskin suits.
Yeah.
I mean, I think back to my kids when they were 13 and I can't even imagine it. I mean, how did you have the balls? How did you have the balls to put on a sharkskin suit when you were 13 years old?
Because we were emulating our musical idols just like 13-year-olds do now. The thing is that their idols are just wearing, Nikes and stuff like that, and things that anybody would wear, except they wear the most expensive ones you could imagine. But we idolize people like the Temptations and James Brown, and we dress like that. And then when I started to idolize Hendrix and people like that, I started to dress like that. So music has always been, and musicians have always been a huge influence on my life. What's funny is that musicians and scientists, now I don't dress like scientists, but scientists are some of my best friends in the world.
Really?
Absolutely.
And do you have a scientific brain?
Yes,
I
went to school.
Do you study science?
Yeah, I went to school for science. People think I went to school for music. I actually had private tutors to teach me music. And of course, I learned music in school. I learned to read music in school. But my main subject was science, and I went to science school. I believed that I was going to be a professional scientist. I didn't believe I was going to be a professional musician.
Which field of science? Which area?
Many areas, but I was into, now remember, I'm old. When I was a kid, we weren't afraid of nuclear energy. So that was what I was studying. So the field that I was most interested in was thermonuclear hydrodynamics. And I believe that would be the source to all of our energy problems.
Which it could have been.
It really could have
Yeah.
been. I became quite friendly with Stephen Hawking, and I had told him about a company that I invented. I didn't do it because I was only a child, but I was really young, and I said, if I, invented this energy company and it was basically powered by nuclear energy, we could call the company Perpetual Motion, and we could make people believe that we have perpetual motion, and because all they care about is turning on their lights and the lights coming on. They don't care how you get it, right? So that was the first conversation I ever had with Stephen Hawking, and when he replied, I can't repeat what he replied, but it was very, very funny. And then, of course, I asked him about black matter, and he was hysterical, and that was it. We were like in love from that moment on. So I can go to almost any high security science facilities. I just will say, and I say it with humility and great gratitude, that I can get into a lot of really cool places and have amazing friends. So I have an interesting perspective